Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeff Smith from the Carbon Trust, and you're all very welcome to this morning's briefing on overcoming barriers to the implementation of energy efficiency and low carbon technology projects. This briefing should last around 30 minutes or so, and after which I'd be delighted to answer any questions or queries you may have. So, without further ado, for those of you unfamiliar with the Carbon Trust, we are an independent expert partner of leading organisations around the world, helping them to contribute to and benefit from a more sustainable world. Our mission is to accelerate the move to a low-carbon economy, and as a not-for-dividend company, any surpluses from our commercial activities go straight back into our mission. To deliver on our mission, we advise businesses, governments and the public sector on their opportunities in a sustainable low-carbon world. We measure and certify the environmental footprint of organisations, products and services, and we help to develop and deploy low-carbon technologies and solutions from energy efficiency through to renewable energy. Our expertise is built on deep experience. Over the past 12 years or so, we've had a considerable amount of success in supporting businesses and public sector organisations to take action to improve their energy performance. We have worked with over 75% of the FTSE 100 and with a high percentage of key public sector organisations. And in addition, we have worked with tens of thousands of SMEs right across the UK of all sizes and across all business sectors. Indeed, we have conducted over 35,000 on-site energy surveys to provide impartial, authoritative advice, insights and guidance to businesses and our experience has shown that energy costs and consumption can often be reduced by between 15 and 20% by improving the standard of energy management at little or no cost, and that investment in energy efficiency and low carbon technologies can reduce energy consumption at a system level by a further 30 to 70%, depending on the level of investment and the particular technology employed. Overall, our investment of around £100 million. Sorry, I'm just getting some notices that some can't hear me. Jimmy, could you just please check that you can hear me okay? Good, thank you. For those of you who can't hear, I think the system, there's probably an issue at your end. But can I suggest you try to log out and log back in again? I'm just getting confirmation that others can hear, so I'll proceed, and a copy of this will be made available subsequently. So overall, our investment of around £100 million in energy surveys has enabled our customers to invest in excess of £1.6 billion on energy efficient and renewable energy equipment, for which they have to date enjoyed energy savings in excess of £4.5 billion. And these savings continue to grow year in, year out, according to the persistence factors of the various measures employed. It's worth noting that in all our work over the years that we have yet to encounter a single business that was deliberately wasting energy, nor have we encountered one that had completely optimized their energy performance. Businesses, like individuals, don't know what they don't know. But in our experience, when they understand the business case for investing in energy efficient and renewable energy solutions to deliver improved outcomes and provide a return on investment, businesses are not slow to act. So, looking at the energy efficiency and renewable energy opportunities in a little more detail, and it's very clear from all our work over the past 12 years that the case for investing in energy efficiency is absolutely compelling. Consistently, we're seeing typical internal rates of return of 40 to 50% for energy efficiency interventions, which compares very favourably with a return of 10 to 15% for other business investments, and between 5 and 10% typically associated with renewable energy projects. And the opportunity exists in all sectors and in all areas, and include both management and behavioural change measures and capital investment opportunities in systems and process equipment. The starting point for the vast majority of companies is to get an effective energy policy and strategy in place to proactively manage energy as a controllable resource and not as a fixed, uncontrolled overhead. The discipline of introducing a system of accountability, responsibility and reporting that relates energy usage to productivity, business activity, throughput, turnover, or whatever the appropriate causal metrics are, will commonly deliver savings of 5 to 10%. And for companies that haven't previously scrutinized their energy usage, substantially more savings can be achieved, for example, by analyzing out-of-hours energy usage, which can often be 30% plus of annual energy consumption. In terms of process energy usage, there are many cost-effective opportunities concerning the installation and management of premium efficiency motors, direct drive systems, variable speed controls, EC motors, on compressed air systems. The hundreds of surveys that we have conducted in systems across the UK indicate an average leakage rate of 38%. So even just clamping down on simple measures as identifying and repairing leaks will deliver cost-effective savings. Improved compressor house layout, ducting cooler outdoor air to inlets, using smooth bore pipework generously sized in a ring main configuration, using electronic expansion valves, using variable speed machines, ensuring that multi-compressors are under group control. On refrigeration, the use of oversized condensers, evaporators with EC fans, electronic expansion valves with floating head control, magnetic bearing compressors all deliver very attractive returns. For process heating, moving towards more efficient closed thermal fluid systems in place of open steam systems provides an excellent opportunity for many. And in businesses, we continue to deal with the legacy of poor design, poor specification, and overcapacity of many building services systems. Of particular note, the breakthrough of LED lighting in recent years provides a fantastic opportunity for most businesses to reduce their lighting loads and costs by easily 50, 60, 70% in many instances. In air conditioning, some fantastic developments on heat pump technology. We're seeing much improved seasonal energy efficiency and performance of heat pump systems. The use of cascade systems provides a wider application and improved efficiency. On the heating side, moving towards radiant heating in industrial applications away from warm air provides good cost-effective savings. On ventilation systems, the application of suitable controls, drives, enables demand-controlled ventilation to deliver what is required instead of what has been the design requirement for worst-case conditions. And of course, once all that operational energy efficiency stuff is done, once the systems and processes are in place, there's great opportunities for clean generation of energy. So the government's intervention in providing feed-in tariffs and renewable heat incentives has provided a significant spur to the deployment of biomass and solar PV in particular, and heat pumps coming through. And we're seeing very cost-effective and very attractive returns on some biomass solutions, particularly in businesses which generate an unavoidable source of clean waste wood as a byproduct of their processes. And indeed, it's pleasing to note that solar thermal prices have reduced significantly in recent years, and that's becoming a more attractive proposition to many companies. So, no shortage of opportunity to improve energy efficiency, energy management, and to deploy renewable energy once the requirements have been optimized. And it's pleasing to see the recent pronouncements from the government that recognise this potential and seek to promote the uptake of energy efficiency through, for example, the proposed energy saving opportunities scheme. But the identification of the opportunity is only part of the challenge. What really matters is the implementation of measures. Companies need to invest in energy efficiency to realize the benefits. And in our experience, despite the compelling business case, around 60% of technically feasible and financially viable projects are not taken forward to implementation for a variety of reasons, which I'll detail shortly. But before I do that, I thought it would be useful just to share some findings from a recent survey which we conducted with around 1,000 proactive businesses to gauge their attitude to energy efficiency. These were companies who had taken action in the past year by implementing at least one energy saving project. And even though these companies had the propensity to act, only a third of these companies actually had a formal energy policy, which is a bit concerning. But out of the actions that they have taken, lighting is by far the most significant and widely deployed measure, which really is not surprising. We have seen a fantastic breakthrough in LED technology and associated controls, and it's really competing with most incumbent technologies and providing a solid business case for upgrading. And that's reflected in the traffic that we see in our finance schemes more broadly. So certainly the number one technology that we see coming forward into those schemes is for lighting upgrades. Staff training is always a useful measure for businesses, quite low cost, and can deliver some very significant benefits. Metering, monitoring and targeting, often done for compliance reasons, but when businesses actually understand the benefit of analysing the energy consumption patterns within their processes, they often find that intelligence enables them to optimize processes, implement appropriate startup and switch off procedures, and just to proactively ensure that energy is only being used where and when required. The boilers and controls, again, seeing some movements towards more efficient cascade boiler systems, condensing boilers, biomass boilers, ventilation and air conditioning, touched on previously some of the great breakthroughs on heat pump technology and performance. Renewable energy, again, PV is becoming a lot more cost effective, and utility scale wind has always been reasonably effective for businesses. Deployment of building energy management systems and controls more broadly. We're seeing some great enhancement and functionality of HVAC control systems. So moving away from localized switch fixed time controls into a web-enabled building management system to allow optimization of system start time and stop time, and more accurate zone controls can deliver very cost-effective returns for businesses. And of course, movement towards more efficient motors and drives, moving away from indirect drive systems to more direct drive under variable speed control. Compressed air we've talked about, and process energy more broadly. Interestingly, 96% say that energy efficiency was an important consideration when purchasing equipment, so that's very pleasing that businesses are understanding the benefit of investing in an energy efficient solution rather than the lowest cost solution. By far, the most significant consideration is the return on investment, and really that shouldn't surprise anyone. Businesses are keen to reduce their overheads to optimize their competitiveness and improve their profitability, so return on investment is always going to be the number one consideration. Interesting to note that there's not a great deal of brand loyalty evident in these results, very few citing the actual brand manufacturer as a consideration. And interestingly, only about half of the businesses surveyed were confident about the claims made by the manufacturers. And this may be explainable, at least in part, by the various claims and counterclaims made by some suppliers who overstate the savings associated with their product. We do note that from time to time businesses would report back to us that they're inundated with marketing material and literature from suppliers with various claims of saving potential, and some businesses are just so overwhelmed by what they're receiving that they simply can't make sense of it, and that unfortunately fuels inertia and inaction. So it's regrettable that some suppliers overstate the savings, but pleasing to note that around 60% said they would benefit from a trusted database of accredited suppliers. And this is an area where we feel as a Carbon Trust we could play a significant and beneficial role for the sector. So in terms of overcoming the barriers to energy efficiency as we see them, the three consistent barriers reported to us are lack of awareness, lack of confidence, and a lack of funds. Lack of awareness of the opportunities, both within the sector in terms of what best practice looks like in various business sectors and within the own operations of a business. A lack of appreciation on the returns available, or indeed no prioritised roadmap for implementation. In terms of lack of confidence, many businesses have difficulty developing business cases to gain the internal buy-in required for capital appropriation. Some are unsure of the claimed benefits will be achieved, and some have difficulty in selecting the correct equipment or finding the right suppliers. In terms of lack of funds, there's always competing pressures for available capital within businesses. There's often a lack of finance period within companies, and there are often split incentives or perverse incentives, the landlord-tenant divide being probably the most notable, but there are split incentives pertaining to departmental budgets or CapEx and OpEx budgets, and the business horizons for some companies are quite uncertain. So to overcome those barriers, we have developed a range of services. We provide impartial, authoritative advice and guidance on how businesses can improve their standard of energy efficiency. We provide on-site energy surveys and remote support by telephone and email for companies. We developed and launched about 18 months ago an accredited supplier scheme in order to independently review and assess the quality and performance of manufacturers, suppliers and installers in delivering high-performing low-energy solutions. And when the government signalled a couple of years back that they were ceasing to provide funding to enable us to continue to deliver an interest-free loan scheme in England, we partnered with Siemens Financial Services to establish the specialist £550 million energy efficiency financing scheme, which provides flexible, competitive finance to businesses and public sector organisations to enable them to invest in energy efficiency and renewable energy projects. And the objective in developing this range of implementation support is to make energy efficiency as easy and as straightforward as possible for businesses. Looking briefly at each of those aspects in turn, we provide impartial technical support to businesses, right from data analysis, benchmarking, staff training, through to investment grade surveys. So Carbon Trust engineers will visit a site, will review the existing engineering systems, will contrast with best practice or good practice, and will provide a prioritised, costed roadmap for the company to improve their standard of energy performance. Beyond that, we will work with them to develop robust evidence-based business cases. We will identify the most attractive financing option for a business, the most tax-efficient solution. We would consistently make reference to the energy technology list to encourage companies to specify equipment on that list and benefit from the associated enhanced capital allowance. We would also encourage businesses to value proposals on a whole life costed basis, not just on lowest cost. So we encourage companies to invest in a more efficient solution, which will deliver a better return over the life of the asset rather than a simple lowest cost like for like replacement option. We can also assist businesses to procure a best value solution. We can prepare tender documentation, we can put projects out to tender through our accredited supplier scheme, we'll develop the performance specification, we'll do the tender analysis, evaluation and report back to the business. And that's been a service that many companies have found beneficial. And we have delivered a few £1 million worth of projects through our accredited supplier scheme, working on behalf of our customers to procure the best value solution for their requirements. And our accredited supplier scheme itself has been designed to assess the knowledge, the skills and experience of equipment manufacturers, suppliers and installers to verify that they consistently deliver thoughtful, well-considered low-energy equipment and solutions. And we seek evidence that they adhere to appropriate quality, environmental and health and safety standards, that they have appropriate training, subcontracting and customer services procedures in place, and that they keep up to date with knowledge and skills within their sector, and that their processes and their efforts actually deliver low energy solutions and satisfy customers. And we test that through the gathering of direct feedback from at least 3 of the recent clients as part of our evaluation and assessment. And it is pleasing that those that have achieved the accreditation status have found it beneficial to their business, often citing the credibility that an independent assessment by the Carbon Trust, what it brings in light of our trusted status in the energy services sector. And being confident in the capability of our suppliers, we're keen to promote them to as wide an audience as possible. So not only are we licensing our accredited supplier logo exclusively for their use, we have also recently launched our Green Business Directory that features each supplier in a searchable directory on our website. And the Carbon Trust website receives over 400,000 unique visitors each year. And the aim is to make this the go-to directory for organizations searching for high-quality suppliers with a proven track record. There's a wide range of energy efficient equipment and renewable energy technologies represented in the directory. And if you think it's of interest to your business, if you're a supplier, then certainly drop us a line to our customer center. Email address and telephone number is on the slide. Our energy efficiency financing scheme offers a really great deal for businesses. Established over 2 years ago, it has supported thousands of businesses and public sector organizations to install a wide range of energy efficient and renewable energy solutions, ranging from a small lighting upgrade in a retail shop to a £1 million plus waste to energy plant in a minerals processing company. It's designed to be convenient and fast. It's designed to be affordable. It's a very competitive product in the marketplace. It does come with a commercial interest rate attached, but it clearly is filling a gap in that marketplace. It's very flexible. The finance terms can be in the form of an interest-free, sorry, beg your pardon, not interest-free, in the form of a loan or a lease or a lease purchase or a hire purchase. The finance term can be structured from 1 year through to as much as 10 years. And in theory, there's no upper limit. So we're very happy to consider projects £1 million plus. The payments are fixed, so that allows accurate budgeting. The efficient can often be tax efficient through a leasing mechanism, and it allows businesses to conserve their working capital. Now, many of the projects coming through the scheme can be financed to ensure that they are cash positive from the outset. So the finance payments are lower than the expected energy efficiency savings. The process itself is very efficient. It's delivered through recognized suppliers. So simply completing a finance proposal form, we conduct a credit check on the business. Carbon Trust will perform the energy saving assessment, and that's an impartial view of the project delivered by Carbon Trust engineers. So we conduct the technical due diligence for all of the projects coming through the scheme. And when finance is formalized, the equipment can be installed and the payment is made directly to the supplier. And again, if that's of interest to you, if you're in the supply or installation business, then search for energy efficiency financing or contact Siemens Financial Services at the details shown. I'm going to conclude with some case studies of energy efficiency and renewable energy projects. These are ones that have come through our finance scheme recently, but they are typical of what we're seeing more broadly in the marketplace. And this first example is a lighting upgrade in a manufacturing company. Vertical axis is cash flow, net cash flow in year. Horizontal axis, years 1 through to 10. And you can see in this particular business, a manufacturing company, they upgraded their lighting from old, inefficient 400, 450 watts high bay metal halide luminaires to more efficient T5 high frequency fluorescent with suitable controls. The monthly finance was fixed at 1.3k per month. The monthly saving was in excess of £2,000. So in year one, that company had a net cash flow benefit of just over £8,000. In year two, allowing for escalation in energy price inflation, which we've taken at 6%, that's a benefit of 9k in year two, 10k in year three. And once the finance is paid off, the business enjoys the full benefit of all the savings. So in year four, that amounts to just under 27k. Year 5, 28, year 6, 29, so on and so forth for the persistence of the lighting system. In this particular example, it wasn't quite cash positive from year one. This was a food production company. They moved from high intensity discharge and switch start fluorescent luminaires and moved to LED with appropriate controls. The monthly finance was fixed at 2.1k and the monthly savings were around 1.8k, again escalating in accordance with energy price inflation. So for this particular business, after the finance was paid off in year three, they were enjoying annual savings of 26k per year, escalating with energy price inflation again. This was a boiler upgrade in a hotel. And again, cash positive from outset. Boiler capacity just under 1 megawatt, moving from an old, aging, inefficient oil boiler to a high efficiency natural gas boiler system. Monthly payments were fixed at £3,500, monthly savings in excess of £5,500. So in year one, net cash benefit to this hotel was £24,000, year two, 28, year three, 32, etc. After the finance has been paid off in year five, net annual benefit in year six was £88,000, year seven, 93, so on and so forth. This is a small project, just to give you a sense of the scale and diversity. This was a verter-driven heat pump in a cafe, displacing direct electric heating. Finance was fixed at just £125 per month. The monthly savings were expected to be in excess of £200 per month. So in year one, the net benefit for this cafe was £1,000, growing, as you can see, through to year five. After the finance has been paid off, the cafe enjoys all the savings and the benefit of those, which amount to 3.4k in year six, and escalating with energy price inflation thereafter. This is an interesting project in a chain of 45 or so hotels. They put demand control ventilation solutions on their kitchen extract systems. Finance was fixed at £13,000 per month, and the monthly savings were assessed at £45,000 a month. So for this hotel chain, the net benefit in year one amounted to £383,000, year two, £415,000, and escalating through to year five after the finance has been paid off. Subsequent annual benefit is £718,000 from year six, and again escalating right through in accordance with the persistence of the measure itself. And finally, just to illustrate a little bit more diversity, this was a waste-to-energy project in a minerals company. They had an unavoidable high-temperature waste stream, so they installed a couple of GE 150 kilowatt turbines off the back of that, and the fixed payments of 22k per month against a monthly saving of £20,000 a month made the project just become cash positive by year three. And as you can see, after the finance has been paid off in year seven, the annual benefit to that business was in excess of £320,000 a year. So that's just an example of a range of energy efficiency projects. Again, it is our experience that all businesses will benefit from a systematic and unstructured review of their energy use, ensuring that they've got an appropriate policy and strategy in place, and more importantly, ensuring that they are taking action to reduce the avoidable energy waste that is occurring across UK businesses. We're very pleased to have been able to play a part for many companies in supporting them moving towards a more sustainable and a more efficient basis. But there's a lot of opportunities still out there, and we're certainly keen to hear from suppliers of energy efficient equipment and solutions who feel that they could work with us and help us to deliver on our wider mission. So that concludes my formal part of the presentation. I'll be very happy to take some questions or queries if you have any. I do apologise, there appears to have been some issue around the audio associated with this. I know from feedback that many of you are receiving it, some are not. I do believe this is being recorded and will be made available subsequently. So we'll make a point of sending out a link to this in due course. That's all for now. Can I just thank you for your attention and thank you for your attendance today. I hope you have found it useful.